Friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here with me for today's video. This is a gift guide for all the guys in your life. This is where you said you needed the most help with your holiday shopping, and I have a few guys that I shop for every year, so while I agree it is challenging, I am up for the challenge, and I have combed the internet looking for all kinds of great gifting ideas. I've also gone back and audited my own shopping history of what I've gotten my husband and things that I know that he uses and really loves. So I have pulled together, I think there's over 50 different items here. I have some things broken down into some different categories for you. So there's a lot to cover. We're gonna try and get through it as quickly as we can so you can get your shopping started. Links will be down in the description box and pinned to the top comment of the comment section. And then anything that is available for you to shop through YouTube Shopping will pop up on the screen as well. So let's get right on into it. First thing I want to share is a really fun and easy gift idea. This has been kind of rolling around in my mind for a while, so I filmed an Instagram reel and I thought I would bring it over here. This is an easy thing you can do, and it's very customizable in terms of what you're putting in there and making it relevant for that person, and also in terms of what you spend on it. So I started off with the cutest little mini tote. They look just like the giant ones they sell at, Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that. We have several of the big ones in my husband's shop, and when I saw the tiny ones, I was like, number one, this is adorable. Number two, it would make a great gift basket. And number three, when they're done opening it, it's something they can actually use afterward as well. So it's kind of a win all the way around, and you can fill this up with anything you want. I chose several of my husband's favorite things, from his favorite electrolytes and snacks to a hat that I know he loves, some skincare stuff for the winter. You can really go on theme here with, a sport that they're into, a hobby that they're into. Maybe it's just snacks and food. And the great thing about this is that you can take this concept and apply it to making this gift in multiples. So if you've got several grandsons or sons, nephews, you can get, 4 or 5 of the same things and just start making your baskets and go for it. So this is, I think, just an easy way to give something that looks fun, has lots of fun things in it for that person so they feel thought of, but you don't have to really, you don't really have to think too hard, because if you know them well, fill it up with stuff they already like. And if you want to get super creative, maybe put some research in if you have time for it, but that's really up to you, and that's what makes this gift so great. As far as the wrapping goes, a very simple bow with ribbon I had, and my little Gingy guy, he's just a chenille patch from Amazon, so I can link all of that for you if you wanted to duplicate this exactly. The tartan actually looks really good with the colors in the tote, but I mean, you can make it personal to them with their favorite colors and things like that, school colors. So whatever you want to do, the sky is the limit, but this is really easy and fun. For the next few minutes, we're going to turn it from Jen Taylor style to Tom Taylor style. My husband is someone who will tell you he doesn't need a single thing, doesn't want a single thing, and that does make it a little bit difficult to shop for him. So if you are in that same situation, I feel you. And the one thing I will say though is when he likes something, I pay attention, because that means it's probably a pretty good pick, a pretty good recommendation. He does not love to spend a lot of money on something if he doesn't have to. So when he does, I know it's something he finds value in, and he's going to get use out of it for forever, because he will take exceptionally good care of it so that it lasts. So these are some of the things that my husband Tom loves, uses, swears by, and has had in rotation for a really long time. One thing about my husband, he is the cowboy that can cook. So he does most of the cooking, which is how everyone prefers it, and he is never without an apron in the kitchen. So this is a Carhartt duck apron. These are heavy duty, they're built to last. You can put them through it and they're going to hold up. You know who else wore an apron all the time? My great-grandpa. He was into woodworking. He made beautiful pieces, and anytime he was out in his wood shop, he had an apron on. So they are practical for many different reasons, and a really nice one will last a long time. So this is one that I would definitely recommend, and it is one that they will have for years to come. My husband has never been one to care about having all the latest and greatest tech gadgets, but he is never without his Apple AirPods. They go everywhere with him, and they do have very practical uses because he's able to take work phone calls while he's driving. He travels a lot, so he can be hands-free and still take a work phone call, no problem. He also uses them when he is outside working in his shop or mowing the yard. They're just one of his most used items that he owns, so I had to include and recommend them. But you don't have to do Apple AirPods. You can also do any other brand of wireless earbud. The Beats by Dre have really great reviews, so I am including them here too. And I think most people already have something kind of like this, but on the off chance you're shopping for someone who doesn't, I just can't say enough how much we use ours, and especially my husband. He was the first one of the two of us to get them. So they're just something that we are never without, and they are something he is not sorry he spent the money on. Now, surprisingly, something that he does have that is a much more splurgy purchase is 2 different pairs of sunglasses. Again, he takes really great care of them. They have lasted forever, but they are a higher ticket item. So he has the Costa Fantails, and he also has Ray-Ban Clubmasters. These are kind of his go-tos. I would say he wears the Costa more than the Ray-Ban. Ray-Bans are something he definitely pulls out, like if we're going out on a date or, you know, somewhere a little bit nicer, he'll wear those, and then his Costas are kind of the day over day that he reaches for. So these are something that he has had forever. Both styles are slightly different, but very classic, and he loves them and has had them both for years. Next up, we have the Muck Chore Boot, and this is something my husband loves, but he did not want to buy these, so eventually I got them for him for Christmas. I knew it was one of those where once he had them, he would be like, okay, I'm glad I have these, even though they're expensive, they're worth it. And that's exactly what happened, and he wore them to death. I mean, wore them until they were busted, and he eventually replaced them with a new pair, so that's how you know they're good. They are heavy duty. They keep your feet completely dry if you are out in the rain, and a lot of times he wears them. He volunteers for a youth rodeo association, so if it's been a rainy spring and they're trying to get the arena ready, I mean, they're out in the mud and it's just a mess, but they keep his feet completely dry, and then he can hose them off and he's ready to use them again. So they are definitely a workhorse. They can take a beating, and they are worth the investment if your husband or whoever you might be buying them for is somebody who is out in the elements, needs something really heavy duty like that to keep their feet dry and warm. These are a fantastic find. I actually had a pair of Muck ankle boots, and I also wore mine into the ground, but every time I had them on, no rain, no moisture, no snow, no nothing was getting anywhere near my feet, so I can also vouch for them as well. If you're looking for a really sweet personalized gift that does not break the bank, these wooden cufflinks are fabulous. I got my husband wooden cufflinks several years ago for an anniversary. They have his monogram in them just like these, and he reaches for them anytime he needs cufflinks. They're in the original box. He has held on to them all this time and still loves them. He doesn't wear them often, of course, but when he does, this is a pair he reaches for. And so this is great if you want to give it to one person, but you could also do it for a group of guys on your list. And the price point, I think this listing is under $20 on Etsy. Now, this is not the original seller who made my husband's. His are from Etsy as well, but that was years ago. So when I went looking, I found this one and I was like, wow, these are just like his, a great price point, and these are made from reclaimed Kentucky bourbon barrels, which I think is very cool. So this is a sweet and thoughtful gift. It has a practical use. It's beautiful. It's also heirloom. They can hold on to it forever. So if you're looking for something that kind of checks a lot of different boxes, this is definitely it. Last Christmas, I got my Tom, the Tom Ford Ombre Leather Cologne, and I just do the little mini travel sizes most of the time because we do stockings for each other. We don't do full-blown gifts. We usually go out to a really nice dinner and then we do stockings on Christmas Day and leave it at that, just so that it's one less thing on our plates, and it works really well for us. So I usually do mini sizes of colognes to go in his stocking, but this is one that I will probably at some point buy for him in the full size because I know he really likes it. So Tom Ford Ombre Leather comes in 3 different size options. It smells really good. He likes it. I think it's divine. So if you want to gift something that is a little more upscale, maybe a little splurgy, this one is so good. Now for the next portion of our gift recommendations, I had to go get my laptop because This is going to be gifts according to different groupings of just, you know, interests and things that kind of make sense together. So you could buy some of these as just a standalone. You could pair some of them together. There's different price points and things like that here. So first off, cooking gifts. I know my husband's not the only cowboy out there who loves to cook and is really good at it. So one thing I would highly recommend, if you have someone who wants to get into beef jerky, having a meat slicer at your house and a food dehydrator. Those are two things my husband has when he makes big batches of jerky. Those are the first two things to come out of the cabinet, and these both have really good reviews. I also included some variety packs of spices that looked really fun, a cast iron skillet. That is such a great thing to have if you don't have one. Oh my gosh, we use cast iron every single week. And then I found these really cool leather handle covers, and they're made in Georgia, so something made right here in the US. And they just go over the ends of your cast iron so you don't burn your hands. And then I included a really cool cookbook for somebody who's really into, like, you know, their meats and grilling and stuff like that. So a nice little variety here of some different price points and things that are great to have in the kitchen if you have a guy who loves to cook. I put some gifts together for the person who is really athletic. Maybe you've got someone who's into running, cycling, golfing. This is for them. So there are these boxes you can buy that are already curated essentially for a particular sport. There are some snack things in there, electrolytes, little gadgety things that relate to their sport, but basically a curated selection of goodies for them. And I thought that was really cool as a done for you gift that's very tailored and specific to whatever it is they're into. So I think that is a really promising gift idea. If any of you get it, you'll have to let me know how it went with giving it to that person. And then I also found some rechargeable hand warmers and a very sleek neck fan. So something for winter, something for summer, both reusable. And this is something that doesn't particularly cost very much, but they all had really good reviews, and I think they are super practical. And I would say with rechargeable hand warmers and a neck fan, you could give those to anybody, but certainly an athlete who's trying to do their thing in extreme temperatures would appreciate that. Also found a really cool gadget that helps you stretch different parts of your feet and legs. And then, so random, but a pair of socks. Tens of thousands of reviews at nearly 5 stars. I think 4.7 or something like that. So there's got to be something good going on with these socks. So I included those. And then last up, a percussion massager. This is something that my husband uses all the time. These are great because it allows you to be able to get in and do, you know, your shoulder blades and your arms and just different parts of your body that are really kind of hard to work the muscle on any other way. This is something that we all have loved and used in our house, but this is just what I came up with. Certainly I'm not a runner, I'm not an athlete by any means, but I think these would all be really good gifts. Our next category only has 4 gifts, but they're all really fun and for people who have a great sense of humor. So my husband does own some of these and has gotten a chuckle out of them. So first up, I got him a Bushwood Country Club t-shirt several years ago. Caddyshack is one of his favorite movies of all time. So this made sense for him as a gift, and he has worn it a million times over. I also have the Snoop Dogg cookbook on here, From Crook to Cook. I don't own this one, neither does he, but I think it would be really fun and funny, especially if someone's really into music. And then the Duke Cannon soaps. These are so fun. You can actually do these as a stocking stuffer. You can also pair them with a gift card and tie it up with a ribbon, and that's a really fun way to give a gift. I've done that before. There's the Big Ass Lump of Coal soap. There's one that's called Illegally Cut Pine, the White Elephant Champion. This one is called, I think, Santa's Pipe Smoke. So they just have really fun and funny names, but they are a really big bar of soap and they smell really good. And then there's a coffee mug. I got this for my husband again, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years ago. It's a raccoon. There's a little knife by him and it says, "Fight me, coward." So, I mean, if you've ever had raccoons come and try to take over at your trash cans, you know they are fast, clever little suckers. So those are just some like really cute humor gifts that are actually practical, but will definitely put a smile on someone's face. If you're like me and you have a really special cowboy in your life that you want to get a nice gift for, this is their roundup of gifts. So I started off with the iconic Wrangler denim shirt. My husband has at least one in the closet. I know George Strait has made them pretty famous. Evan Felker from Turnpike Troubadours wears them. They're just a staple. Like most cowboys, they just tend to get better with age, those shirts. So that is definitely a great one. I also included several accessories for boots and hats. So a great brush kit to clean a felt hat is a really good gift. Also a carrying case, like a travel case for your cowboy hats. Cowboy hats are expensive. They're an investment. You want to take care of them, but if somebody's going to travel with it, this is a great way for them to protect it. Should be able to carry it onto a plane, throw it in the back of the truck so that your hat doesn't get crushed or damaged there. So a really cool gift idea for someone who has a very nice hat that they want to travel with but protect. I also included a nifty gadget. My husband has one that's a little bit different, but it's the same thing. His is just made out of different materials. It hooks onto the back of your seat, and then there's a magnet that you attach to the brim of your hat, and it lets your hat hang really nicely straight, and it keeps you from sticking it up in the dash. You get sun damage. It can like dry it out. If it's a straw hat, shrink it. So I mean, most guys will throw their hat up on the dash, but it's not best practice to keep it in good shape. So this is a great alternative to that. It would make a really cool small gift or stocking stuffer. Also have some things for boots. So like a stretcher shaper made out of cedar that they can keep in their boots. Also a leather oiling, cleaning type of kit. That's always a great thing to have. Also found a really cool tooled leather Apple Watch band. So that's something kind of fun and different. And then some really cool cowhide car coasters. Again, maybe a stocking stuffer, something like that. So these are all things that I think my husband would use and love. So if you have someone in your life who has kind of a Western aesthetic, these are their gifts. All of you who have been here for a while know I live in a very small town in Oklahoma. There's nowhere fancy to shop around me. I don't even have a stoplight where I live. So I shop at all the regular places during the holiday season, Amazon, Walmart. And so a lot of these things I have sourced are from Amazon because it's just fast and easy. You know, I know that there are people who watch my channel who don't have the mobility to go out and shop. So, you know, making it as easy as possible for these things to get into your hands is certainly one of my goals. So I did want to put together a Walmart specific gift guide for men because I feel like that's just where so many of us are going to knock out not just gifts, but the groceries we have to get for people who are coming over, the wrapping, just all those little things that you end up having to buy during the holiday season. You're trying to go to the one place where you can kind of get everything. And Walmart ends up being that place for me a lot. This is not sponsored in any way. These are just the facts by which I have to live. So I have some really good stuff on here. Burberry cologne, some really great genuine suede slippers, a JBL portable waterproof speaker, a really soft, nice pajama pant that my husband has. They also have these really cool Beats by Dre little earbuds that have the cord, so they're really great for runners. They have awesome reviews. This Apple Watch band looks really nice, and then there's a really cool little gadget you can put your iPad on and like move it all around the house, so I thought that was kind of cool. A digital meat thermometer that has really great reviews. So everything that you're seeing on the screen, I'll have it all linked for you, but this is a great way to knock some things out on your list for gifts, and then anything else that you need to grab, you know, your bleach, your eggs, you can do it all at one time. I wanted to round it out with stocking stuffers. That was something you guys said you needed some help with. So there's a lot of different things on this little list. Some skincare type things. I've got my husband's favorite electrolytes on there. They're called Element and they're sugar-free. He's a type 1 diabetic, so he loves these. They're his current favorite. These cool beef jerky sticks are called Fatties. I thought that was kind of fun. Some Danny Trejo hot sauce. I didn't know Danny Trejo had his own line of hot sauce, but now that I do know, I think that's pretty awesome. The bear claw things to shred your smoked meat with, a really cool pack of silicone Apple Watch bands. So just a lot of different things here that you can do as gift add-ons, stocking stuffers, whatever makes sense for you. This is a really good roundup of just some little things to help fill out gifts and stuff some stockings. If you are still here watching at the bitter end, you are awesome. Thank you so much. That was a lot of gifts to get through. And I do want you to know I take this part of my job so seriously because this is your hard-earned money and these are the people you love the most. And so if I'm recommending it, I want them to love it and I want you to feel good about it. I consider it a really big privilege to have you guys trust me for recommendations. So I don't take that lightly. That's why I spend hours going through things and trying to put together the best of the best. I think about your comments that you leave me, the things you tell me about what's going on in your life and with your family. That's really the driving force behind everything I do in these kinds of videos. So thank you for trusting me. Thank you for being here. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.